What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone for another daily news video on this very misleading news day. I'm gonna say the the day started off with actually very simple report, but it took off to be a very misleading news report because it got translated completely wrong. It's got put out there completely wrong, translated again, and you got a completely kind of fake, weird story out there. We will go over that obviously, and we will go over some other things like a SAVIC, a SOULE, and things that didn't really happen or are not expected to happen anytime soon, which is a bit of a concern because preseason is around the corner, actually really real preseason. But before we do that, as always, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and let's dive into it straight away. Now, I will start off with the fake headline. It was Juve wants Dybala back. That was kind of the news, like what was portrayed to be today's news, which was completely false. Like Tuttosport didn't suggest to get Dybala, that we are in for Dybala, or that we are thinking about Dybala, bringing Dybala back. The story was what's here on the screen, basically. I'll read it out. It said, Allegri wants to play with a trequartista, and the strong name is obviously that of Pogba. However, doubts remain about Pogba's physical fitness. The club is already evaluating options such as Lille. I'm gonna butcher that name. Yachicic. I don't know. And Kamara is a Turkish player, but I cannot pronounce it. So let me know in the comments. I never heard of him, so I'm also not gonna pretend I know who he is. I have absolutely no clue who he is. He played for Trabzon, now for Lille. That's all I know. Kamada, I've watched, but I don't have enough information to say yes or no. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but that's not really the point of the story. It's just two names thrown out there. The point of the story is that Allegri still lives in 2015 and wants to play with the trequartista. The funny part of the story was that it was suggested that he's looking for Dybala, basically, or not really bringing Dybala back, but he's looking for him, which made me laugh because he had Dybala and he didn't use him. He couldn't play that position, and we were never in for that position again. And this is my biggest concern. It feels like we're switching, or like going off reporting and what he said when he joined, what he said last season, what he said in that Locatelli Pogba interview, like let's say October. It feels like he has absolutely no idea what he really wants. Like, he wants to play a 4-3-3. He wants to play a 4-3-1-2, and then the next day it's a 3-5-2. Like, it switches, and that's also how the news is kind of evolving with transfer news. Like, it feels like, in my opinion, it's going to be a 3-5-2, but it feels like it could be a different formation. It could be something completely else. Yes, something completely different, and that's my biggest concern. Like, at this moment in time, you don't have a feeling this is what we're trying to do, and we got that last season because we switched so many times, not just formation but also personnel, and that's my biggest concern. Not if Pogba can play the trequartista role position. I'm not really thinking about that because that also depends on, obviously, is he gonna be fit? He's back in training. The other players are rumored to be back or should be back next week. He's back. He was back today. I'm not gonna put money on the fact that Pogba is gonna be healthy for 35% of the season. I think, going off the last years and especially last season, I think 35 is already being optimistic, in my opinion. I really am. So the story is not really about that. The story is more for me about the fact that it feels like, again, we want to play a different formation. And you might say Tuttosport, it's from a good source in Tuttosport, and it's a bit concerning. It's a bit concerning because the season starts in a month and a half, and it feels like we have, again, so many options and no option basically. Like there's so many possible solutions, but they have no idea what I mean, Allegri has no idea what he really wants to push, because there was a story on the weekend saying Giuntoli comes in and we'll start off with a 3-5-2 and then we will see during the season. No, 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 no. You need to have a plan going into the season. You cannot go into the season with the idea of let's start with 3-5-2, but let's evolve. Why? We've done it for 2 seasons now and evolved in, well, this, absolutely mediocrity. That's what the evolution was. You need to have a strict plan, because selling Chiesa and not selling Chiesa makes a difference. On based on how you want to play next season. So these decisions need to be made now. Like, not now. They should have been made weeks, months ago. Years, you might say. And going off this story, it feels again like it's a new thing, because the midfield we have and the midfield we're being linked with, and that's the next story. It's SAVIC. Good players, but there are no real players that are gonna. It feels like the midfield we are trying to build is a team that can be great in possession in and around the box, but to pull that trigger, that final ball, or the runs without possession, all those things, I think that's still missing. It's lacking. And again, it all depends on formations. It does. If you play with a tricartista, indeed, then okay, it can be solved. But do you want to do Pogba? You want to play Pogba there? And with his fitness, indeed, if he doesn't play many games, then what? Switch formation again? Like, that's not really how you build a team. You should have options, and we don't have options. But the other story is Savic. We're still in for him, and that Mana is expected to be in London to sell Zakaria, McKennie, and Arthur. Like, it's kind of a silly season now, because the rumors about the outgoing players, they flip every day. There was a period where it seems like we were gonna sign 3 Galatasaray players and they are gonna sign 3 of our players. That completely died. The Arthur going to Spain completely died. McKennie saying Italy is kind of disappearing now. So it's very early days, you might say, based on when this news actually kicked on, about, trying to move out these players. But is it, we are doing nothing unless these players are leaving, We're not bringing in players unless these players are out. Parisi is on hold. Right winger is unknown / on hold. You need to make these deals kind of move quickly now, and that's going to be key for the next couple of weeks. If you can get these deals over the line, like relatively soon, that's the key word, like soon. But it will be in London apparently. That's the news that has been kind of dominated all day. So let's see. It could be tomorrow. It could be this evening. Maybe Di Marzio comes out with some news today, later today, and we will have some more things to go on, discuss. But I'll keep saying it, I'm still waiting on the big news about Chiesa or Vlahovic or Bremer, but I believe at this moment in time it's Chiesa to come out, and that will kickstart your transfer season, because, well, you need to replace him and you get some money to bring in other players. So let's see how that will go. But as of now, it's just a story. He's going to be in London, and that's about it. That's about it. To wrap it up today, because there's not much news, I can talk about all the reports that came out today, but it's going to be repetitive. And like I said, we need to wait until actually one thing moves, and then it kind of will be a domino effect. It's about Soule. It's from Tuttosport, saying that he doesn't want to be loaned out to a Serie A club. He prefers to just leave outright, and that Feyenoord are willing to put up 80 to 20 million. I will never believe that. Not even when Feyenoord offer that money. That's not what Feyenoord are about. Especially not for a player that played so little. So I really struggle to believe that Feyenoord are gonna pay 20 million euros for Soule. Like, I really, really do. That's not their MO. So I really struggle to believe that. But the big question is, and I will discuss that on a live, but you can answer that question for me in the comments. if an offer comes in for, let's say, 20 million, would you sell Sule? Will you sell him for 20 mil? Keeping in mind that at this moment in time, we have absolutely no right wingers, like nothing. But it's 20 million that the club wants. Let's say an offer comes in. Would you take it? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will be back tomorrow. Ciao.